I wanna talk to you guys. Change the mindset. I'm not gonna lie, it's better being single. Pray more. Dang, I wish my hair was long like hers. When we look good, we feel good. It's not for these raggedy men. What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Jay. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who do know, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see by the title of today's video, we are doing something different. I don't remember the last time I did a sit down video with you guys, but I know it's been a minute. This is the type of videos you guys like. You guys like to hear me talk for some reason. Get your snacks, get your little drinks or whatever, sit down, get comfy, get your blankets, and enjoy the video. We are going to be doing a girl talk. I went on my Instagram and I asked all of my girlies to give me what they're struggling with, and you guys delivered. I have some interesting topics we're going to talk about. Let's just get right into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is courting. Now, if you guys follow my TikTok, it's right here. If you guys follow my TikTok, you guys most likely saw the video that I posted where I was talking about courting versus dating. We had a lot of opinions on that video. A lot of people saying that courting and dating is the same thing, but it's really not. It's totally different. Somebody wants to know what courting is. Courting isn't in the Bible. Neither is dating. Dating isn't in the Bible. But what is in the Bible is marriage. It's spoken a lot in the Bible. It's a very important factor. Marriage is the end goal to anything. That's what God wants us to do. He wants us to become one. He wants us to be married, be fruitful, and multiply. Now, if it's not your time to be married, let's say you're young or you're just not ready to be married, you can have friends and stuff like that, but courting is more serious. Really highlight marriage. Courting also means that you guys are saving, I'm trying to say the word without saying the word, but the like intimate part for marriage. So you guys aren't doing any of that. That doesn't mean, a lot of people in my comments were saying, oh, you guys aren't courting because you guys are kissing. Let me fix my glasses. When you're courting, it doesn't mean you can't hug on each other. It doesn't mean you can't kiss on each other. That's not what courting is. Yes, courting, you are saving those sexual relations for marriage, but if you have self-control and if you can control yourself and kissing and hugging, it doesn't lead to that, leading you to tempt you into doing that, then it's not necessarily an issue. Some people, when they kiss, it doesn't really like set them off. And then some people, when they do kiss, it sets them off and it's like, okay, I want to do more than that. And that's what I explained in my other TikTok. I explained more about courting and dating. It all depends on you and your partner and how well you guys do with temptation and how well you guys do with self-control. Now, if you guys are still battling self-control and you guys don't really have self-control, then I would say that's when you put a limit to kissing, or you cancel all of that out to begin with until your spirits are strong enough to fight those temptations. Someone said, I struggle with routine. Now, I am no way, shape, or form saying that I'm perfect and that I got my whole life figured out and I have a strict routine that I stick to every single day. I don't. But I do like having a routine, and I can tell you guys what I do to help me make a routine and stick to the routine. Motivation plays a Motivation plays a really big role into having a routine. If you don't have motivation, it's not going to motivate you in order to stick to that routine. One way you set your routine, you make reasonable goals for yourself throughout the day. If you want to make a routine for like the week or a routine for the month, make sure they're reasonable. Make sure they're not too crazy, like, oh, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to go to the gym. Let's be for real. That being said, you don't want to give yourself too much leeway. You don't want to give yourself too much grace, because then you're not going to want to stick to the routine. So you want to make sure it is disciplined, but well disciplined, not too disciplined, well disciplined. Basically what that looks like, my routine, which I'm going to be making a video in a couple weeks, my night routine and my morning routine. I'll show you guys a little bit of what I do and how I, manage my time and how I get the things done that I need to get done and how I prioritize. Obviously, waking up at a good time, not too late, not too early, and getting the things done. So the first thing you want to do is write down, okay, what are my priorities, and list them from most important to least important. So after you do that, you look at time frames. Okay, when do I know that I can get these things done? And then that's when you make a to-do list or you make a plan. And then as the days go on, you learn more. Okay, this certain task isn't going to fit in this time frame. This certain task needs to come down here, it needs to go up here. As the day goes on, it gets easier and you start to, pick it up a little bit more faster. But just start off with listing out your priorities, listing out time frames, and putting those priorities inside your time frames. And that's how you get started with the routine. Lust and saving myself for marriage. So this also has to go into courting and dating, that whole topic or whatever. Lust is a hard one, especially if you were active in it and then you automatically want to put a stop to it. It is very hard. And saving yourself for a marriage, if you are saving yourself for marriage, it can be a little easier. But if you were doing it and then we're like, okay, I'm going to save myself for marriage, it can be challenging. But with that being said, it's definitely doable. But that's when strict boundaries and self-discipline comes into play. And this is where we also talk about self-control. One thing that helps with me is obviously boundaries. My boundaries that I put for myself for lust, to make sure I'm not lusting after my partner. Can't kiss for a certain, we can't touch a certain way, we can't cuddle a certain way, because then it, sets off, where was I going with this? Prayer is very, 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 very important. Prayer is how you're going to get through everything. I promise you. This is how I get through everything. This is what I solely rely on. And I feel like if you guys were to do the same, you guys were to get used to being in prayer 25/8, I promise you, it'll get easier, because God will see okay, you're seeking his help. He'll see you're giving your problems to him and you're saying, okay, God, I can't do this by myself. I need your help. I need you to help me out with this struggle. He's going to deliver. He's going to help you out with that struggle. All you have to do is ask. If you ask, you shall receive. So yeah, if you're struggling with lust, I would suggest just pray about it, and also observe the things that you're feeding your eyes, because a lot of times that we don't realize, whatever we're feeding our eyes can also factor into lust. It can factor into how we think and how we view people and stuff. So if we're constantly looking at sexual TV shows or sexual YouTube videos, or we're around sexual people who just talk crazy, it might trigger that, and it might it's not going to make it better. It's just going to make it worse. So, observe your surroundings, observe what you're feeding your spirit. And when you start to do that and you start to become more aware of what you're feeding yourself, that's when you can okay, cancel out these things and be like, okay, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing that. And it'll get easier. Saving yourself for marriage, I would say when you get into a relationship, this also goes in with lust, and it helps you see if that person is lusting after you, or if that person actually loves you and values you. When you start seeing that person, you guys start talking more. You want to make sure saving yourself for marriage is the key point that you're talking about. You want to make sure off rip, before you guys say anything else. Don't hi, my name is so-and-so. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm waiting for marriage. You don't have to do that. That's not what I'm saying. But make sure it's well known and you stick to that and you stand your ground. And when your partner sees that, they should want to respect it, and it makes them respect you more. And saving yourself for marriage, it does have to do with self-respect and just respecting your body. We are the temple of Christ, so you want to save ourselves for marriage, because that's when you guys become one. When we get into certain predicaments or problems where our emotions are heightened, what I do and what I feel helps for me, we're gonna talk about how I do this in my relationship, because this is where it's a really big problem. In my relationship, when my emotions are through the roof, I stopped thinking clearly, and I allow it to dictate my actions, positively or negatively. We don't ever want our emotions to dictate our actions negatively, because I promise you, when you allow that to happen, you're going to regret it in the end. So do me a favor, when there's a problem presented to you and it causes your emotions to go, pause, breathe, think. I pause, I retract, rewind, reverse, I breathe, and then I think, okay, obviously I'm not thinking right. What's the mature thing to do? Okay, I'm gonna take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 3 hours to myself, so that way I can relax, do something that's going to ease my mind, do something that relieves the anxiety, whether that's praying, whether that's taking a walk, whether that's going to the gym, doing something to not distract myself, but to lower the blow, you know? To relax myself a little bit more. And then when I feel better, that's when I allow myself to make a decision. Never, never, never when you're mad do you want to make a decision, because I promise you 98.9% of the times that you make a decision while you're mad, it's not a good decision. I promise you. I've been there, done that. Don't do it. One little story that I want to tell you guys about me and my boyfriend. I'm gonna be humble, open, and transparent with you guys. We are working on a problem with me leaving. And when I say me leaving, not necessarily like breaking up and stuff like that, but me physically leaving. There's been many times where I've been at my boyfriend's house and we would get into an argument and I would leave and I would go home. Or there's been times where we went to the gym and I would walk out the gym and get ready to go home. There's been times, multiple times where we would argue and I would leave and I would remove myself from that situation. Like I said, that was an emotion dictating my actions. The more that I did that, the more that it became a bigger issue. And he presented it to me. He said, hey, this is an issue for me. I don't like that when, it gets hard and your first thought is leave, remove yourself. That's not going to make anything better. That's just going to make things worse. It's going to have me overthink. It's probably going to have you overthink. And it's probably going to make the problem so much more bigger than if you would just pause and think. We're still working on it. It's getting better. I can say I have not left after an argument, and we've had multiple arguments. That's what a relationship is. Everyone argues, but we've had multiple arguments and I stayed. I didn't leave. Although I was upset, I may have went to another room. I may have been by myself in another room for like an hour, 2 hours, and then I would come back, we would talk about it, and we'd go back to normal. And that's exactly how it would be if I left. If I left, I would get my time and then I'd instantly regret it. Like, dang, I'm better now. We're back on good terms, but I left and I want to go back. And then I'd wind up going back. So it's just a waste of time. How to deal with insecurity. I, myself, have dealt with insecurities all my life. I can say now that I'm about to be 20 that it got so much better. Like so much better. Sometimes I do have moments where I was just like, I wish I looked this way. I wish I looked that way. I wish I looked this way. We still have those moments, those moments they're gonna still be there. No matter how much healed we are, we're still gonna have those little moments where it's like, dang, I wish my hair was long like hers. We're gonna have those moments. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, when it begins to be a problem and you're constantly being negative to yourself and being too hard on yourself, that's when it's like, all right, gangsta. What I did, if you're physically insecure, what I would suggest is take a break off of social media. I feel like social media is brutal for people who are insecure. Social media has these fake bodies, has these faces that aren't real. And then it makes us compare ourselves to these beautiful people that we see on the internet. And it's just like, darn, why can't I look like that? Not knowing that God made us so perfect. He calls us his masterpiece. We're so perfect how we are. And I feel like the reason why we try to change our appearance, we try to change this, we try to change that, is because we're seeing these people on the internet. And because we don't look like that, that's why we want to change all of these things about us. Which, should never be the issue. Start doing something for your mental health, for your physical health. Let's say you want a better physique. Go to the gym, get a gym membership, start going to the gym. That's what I did. I told myself I want an hourglass figure. I'm gonna get that hourglass figure, because when I look good, I feel good. And I know multiple of y'all are like that. I know my girlies. When we look good, we feel good. It's not for these raggedy men out here. It's not for them. It's for us and for the other girls. Because when we look good, we feel good. Half the time when we get dressed and we like to, look a certain way, half the time it's because when we go out in public, we're looking in our reflection. You're like, damn, you look good, shawty. Like, that's just all girls. That's how we, I don't know. I'm going to speak for myself, but I feel like I can also speak for you guys too, because we're all girls and, we can relate on multiple things. And I feel like that's something we can like agree on. Start eating healthy, or start eating ice cream. Like, girl, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. One thing I would say is mindset. Here we go with mindset again. Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about you. Their opinion about you doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are who you are for a reason. And don't let anybody or their mama try to tell you otherwise. If you like a certain thing a certain way, you're gonna do what you want to, you're gonna do what you want to do. I feel like the reason why a lot of us can be unhappy sometimes is because people want us to do things a certain way, and sometimes it's not the way that we want to do it, but we still do it to make them happy. No. We're not people pleasing in 2025. We left that in 2024. We are us pleasing. We are you pleasing. You are yourself pleasing. We're pleasing us. That's what we're doing this year. So whatever makes you happy, going to the gym, eating certain foods, going to certain places, do that, and I promise you it'll make a huge difference in your mental and your mood and your insecurities. So that's pretty much all the topics that we have. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys would like a part 2 to this, let me know. In my Instagram, I don't know why for some reason my YouTube comments are off, but if you guys are interested in a part 2, let me know on my Instagram. If you don't know my Instagram, it's going to be right here. DM me and let me know if you guys would like a part 2 and what else you guys would like me to talk about, struggles, advice, or just story times that you guys would like to hear. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have today. I hope that any of these tips, any of these advice helped you guys out with your struggles. All you have to do is just DM me. Sometimes I might not get to it like super fast, but I do promise you I do try to get to most of my DMs. And answer you guys' questions. And although I'm growing and I'm not perfect myself, I love helping out my queens, of course. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys were able to take something out of this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.